I have other thoughts on that.
Okay,
Not
hello
conspiracy
everybody.
theory. Oh fuck. Okay.
Now they'll never
I,
know the context of your conspiracy theory.
I am not going in conspiracy theory territory. I'm just saying that,
Yeah,
like, I
that's what they
think.
all say.
God, you're gonna hear me like talking shit on 5G eventually. No, because yeah, I was curious about like if you got to sit in a Faraday cage, and I just like, you say you wouldn't notice. I say maybe you'd hear a little less hum. Maybe like there'd be a little. I feel like you'd feel it to some extent, whether or not it's like a ooh thing for your body or what. Yeah.
I don't think you would feel it. I think if you wanted an experience like, oh, you would feel it very strongly, go into a soundproofed room.
Yeah, no,
Go
that'll
into a
do it.
sound treated room and you'll be like, I hate reality.
What I was,
This sucks.
especially with tinnitus, that's gonna be hell. But I, like, what I was thinking of, and I know for an absolute fact that this would be a substantially more severe situation. But what immediately came to mind is like if your head was in a microwave for a little bit, like not long enough to explode, but if it was just in one, yeah,
Anyway, welcome to the show.
because those are Faraday cages. Yeah, I understand.
So I saw in your notes you have watched the Minecraft movie.
I have seen the movie for Minecraft. Do you want to start out with that?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the Minecraft movie?
So, I have very mixed thoughts on it
Mm-hmm.
because, well, and first of all, I want to say I'm going to be very biased because my partner fucking loves this movie. But okay, I'm gonna start off with like the worst part of the description I have, just so that we can only go up. I, you know those movies where it's like, it's clearly done on a fuckload of green screen, and that kind of feels like it's hurting it because it's supposed to be a serious story or whatever, and people like the actors are like, having a tough time because the fucking nothing around them is real, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie, I think, is maybe the best case scenario of that kind of thing. And I'll tell you why. Um, it feels like it feels like a bunch of people of different ages who are legitimately good actors, and have a reasonably good rapport with one another, just said, you know what? We're gonna have genuinely a lot of fun in front of a bunch of green sheets, and we're gonna make a studio spend several millions of dollars to make it make sense in post and look really, really fucking good. And yeah, because visually, it is undeniable. This film looks fantastic. I like, outside of sometimes when it just really obviously looks like someone was intentionally lit to match, like, to match the environment around them. Like, there is not one single piece of CGI in the Minecraft portion that I have literally any criticism for. My only like big gripe with the movie is I would have liked that level of visual care and attention to detail, and this level of, like, Easter eggs. They got plenty of pretty damn good ones in there. I liked the water bucket bit that they didn't have to do. It's a big thing, but they didn't have to do it. Water bucket when you're falling. um yeah, I would have liked if that was also put towards a movie that was like really earnest and serious about it, but I think this is the next second best thing, because every single character in this and every single story beat feels like it is arranged to meet a quota of this is the structure of a movie, almost like a really successful parody. Like, it just almost feels like the structure of a parody movie, but legitimately good. And like, you can see where they're like, okay, we have to put in movie here, and we're all having fun, but just like mention all of these like character moments and plot arcs and things like that. But also, you can like kind of ham it up a little bit, even though every single line Jack Black delivers is a 100% hammed delivery. Like he has no solemn moment where it doesn't feel like he's just itching to give another wah kind of kind of thing. And I'm like, this has a very clear vision and it's like really good at it. I just also want another thing that's like not quite like this. I would hope that the sequel might tone it down a bit for that reason and like let us sit with these characters and do that. But yeah, like the little kid who's kind of dressed in the way that the little boy who's last time I checked dressed as those like fan characters that you'd see in fan animations back in like the mid 2010s ish. You know, it's not like deliberately pointed out, it's just I think that's how he's dressed. He, you know, he wants to make a bunch of creative things. I just think this is a fun part of the movie. Like he wants to make a bunch of creative things and he's a really smart kid and he's shamed away from it by, you know, his peers at school. But like his first prototype of this jetpack that he wants to make, because I don't think you're gonna want to see the movie. Like I'm just gonna spoil this one part.
Yeah, I'm probably like I'll watch it eventually, but I do
Yeah.
not care.
Yeah, like he like basically because like he just wants to play around with shit and make creative stuff and knows that he's smart enough to or feels like he's smart enough to do certain shit. Not in like a douchey way. It's just he, you know, he's coming of age and learning this thing about himself. And like he's bullied by kids at school about it and he's like, I want to prove why not, you know, why can't I be like a rocket scientist or whatever. And he decides to design a jetpack that actually does in fact work on the first try despite being sabotaged. The only thing that goes wrong about it is the steering system catastrophically, but everyone can see this thing like lifts off like a fucking space shuttle. So it's like this kid didn't lose everything in it. That's still one of the coolest things a child has ever done. But yeah, I love the audacity, and I love that they don't throw out everything to get a film with such audacity. I love that it's in your face, but it's not a headache. I think it's almost in the same realm as Sponge on the Run in terms of like beautiful movie you could put on in the background very satisfyingly, but sitting down to watch for the plot you'll probably only do about once. Yeah, I think it's very much worth seeing. I just also want to see an earnest take on it on top of this, because God, the zombie movement is so good. Oh, anyway, yeah, I'm pretty much done.
All right, yeah, there was your review of it is basically everything that I'm just like, yeah, I don't really care for this movie. It
Yeah.
feels like it would be a headache if there's no like somber moments with Steve as a character. If he's always just up to 100, like that is tiring.
I think they told him to be earnest for a few scenes, but they just could not get him to dial it down past a certain point. That's kind of what it feels like.
Oh no, yeah, not my kind of movie. I mean, you know, you're going up against a lot of other video game movies. You're going to be compared to it. I mean, from what it sounds like, it doesn't stack up. But
I almost wish it was like an original thing, because I want a sincere, earnest Minecraft take, and this does a decent job of that, and a great job of something else. I wanted a Lego movie like that. That's the tone I wanted, which wouldn't have been. I like my partner likes the Lego movie only a little bit better, and I can kind of see it now, because this is just like the Lego movie is about I think about the same tone and pacing, but just allows for a few more like slow, solemn moments, and I think they're kind of a core part of what makes the movie work. But you know, you give and you take some. I wish that we had closer to an actual Lego movie scenario where you got to have all those jokes, you got to have all those campy moments, but it was surrounding a more sturdy core. Yeah.
yeah. But oh well, maybe we'll revisit it once I eventually watch it in about 5 years.
Yeah. I think that's appropriate for you to do.
I mean, I still haven't watched the Sonic 3 movie. I need to. But it's just like...
I've seen half of it.
My age...
Yeah.
How do you fuck do you... Never mind.
What?
Me over here about to be
What
like,
is
how do you only watch half a movie?
You never come back to it and then forget? ADHD, bitch?
No, I finish it. I either finish it or I will just be like, no, this is a trash movie, and stop.
Have you
because
never
it's
had to
just not
step away
good.
from a movie and then forgotten to come back to it?
No.
I've done that a lot. Not every time, but it's like, that's not rare.
No, I do not do that. The only time in recent memory that I've like had to step away from a movie, it was only for like a few minutes, and it was the Star Trek Section 31 because it made me so mad. I had to take a moment.
Oh yeah, I'm never stepping back to that movie. But
That movie sucks.
For Sonic 3, I think part of the reason that I stopped it when I did wasn't because I don't like it, but I think I started to get that same kind of taste in my mouth as like Deadpool and Wolverine gave me in the end of it, where I'm like, at least for the moment, I have gotten what I wanted to see from the tone and the story and the world and characters that this offers. Excuse me, and I need basically no more of it like this. But I'm like, maybe I'll come back to it in a couple days. And I think I could have. And then I just didn't. But I do fully intend to come back to it. I don't think it's a bad movie by any stretch. I think it's quite a good movie. I liked it, especially Keanu Reeves in there. And in fact, I want to see the climax with Keanu Reeves. I think he'd be super cool. I'm sure he was.
The climax with Keanu Reeves is an amazing late night talk show.
Yeah. I that sounds like the kind of thing where they like keep trying to actually get Keanu Reeves onto it, but he's like, I'm not going on to something called the climax.
It's not called the climax. It's the climax with Keanu Reeves.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Sign me the fuck up.
Yeah. I would love a John Wick thing like that.
No,
that's really good at
my
climaxes.
main issue with trying to watch the Sonic movies is I cannot stand Ben Schwartz as a voice actor. I'm over him. I've had a fill of him.
This might be a really unpopular opinion. I feel like I've kind of aged out of Jim Carrey. Which is weird because there's other really, really, really ham actors that I love. Like, I don't think I've gotten tired of Martin Short remotely. I don't even think he's less energetic than, no. I don't think that's true. I think because Jim Carrey's like, literally, he's Jim Carrey. But I don't know, the specific way that he decides to be campy feels like it's trying... In my heart, it feels like it's trying to appeal to the taste I had when I was 9. But like, I don't think it's like explicitly immature. It's just this is how my taste works. But yeah,
no, I wish the Eggman in the movies was a bit more serious.
Mm-hmm.
He's very jokey, very campy, and it's like, I don't know, I feel like he works better when he's a bit more serious.
I think it would have worked better if it was Eggman but Jim Carrey instead of Jim Carrey but he's Eggman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
is the same
Ben
complaint
Schwartz,
I had about the Minecraft
it's like
movie.
everything I hear him in, I'm like, that's Ben Schwartz. It's
Yeah.
not anybody else. He's not playing a character. He's playing Ben Schwartz, but this time he looks like a short blue hedgehog.
He does not have the kind of voice where he can ride on a fucking John DiMaggio kick or a fucking Patrick Warburton where you could just take it everywhere and it sounds good. Like I think he could take a Jay Baruchel character if he wanted to. Sorry, for those who don't know, Jay Baruchel, he played like Hiccup in How to Train Your Dragon. Like, you could play a lot of those. Take as many of those as you like. You do not need to be our hedgehog. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like Sonic doesn't have many a voice actor to choose from that would probably love to come back to the role.
Right.
But I don't know why they. Yeah. I mean, I know why they chose Ben Schwartz because it's Ben Schwartz, but
right.
I do not see the creative vision of choosing Ben Schwartz.
Well, you say like Ben Schwartz because it's Ben Schwartz, but there's also a lot of comedians I think on his same level you could say that about that I think would have worked
Well,
about
but
as appropriately
by
as
the
he did.
time it was up to Sonic, he was already kind of in those kinds of characters.
Was
So it's
he?
like, yeah, he did one of the DuckTales nephews. He was, I think this was
Oh.
before Sonic Leonardo in the
Oh,
TMNT
right.
show. He did a few different things.
I think I think part of the reason I stopped watching that was because Ben Schwartz just sounded like Ben Schwartz.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it now. I think I understand. I think he works great in everything I've seen him in that's not voice acting, which for those who haven't kept track of the lore of the Thought Bubble is one of the most rare pieces of criticism I will ever give a human being. I usually love hearing someone give it a shot if they're a professional in some other regard. But yeah, because I loved him on like Game Grumps and fucking some Dropout shit and his stand up, some of it. I didn't like Middleditch and Schwartz that much.
Yeah, because you hate improv, apparently.
I'm fucking. It's like I'm not. It's good. It's good. I'm like, this doesn't feel right.
I think Middleditch and Schwartz is some of the best stuff he's ever done, but maybe it's just because I like improv.
It's also shut up. It's also been years. It's been years since I've seen it, so I'll probably go back and try it again and be like, what the fuck was I thinking? But no, yeah, I just it didn't. It felt. This is not gonna make any sense whatsoever, but it felt like the same tone. Oh, okay, I got it. So it feels like two people who are really, really, really good professionals at a certain kind of performing, who then are trying a kind of performance that they're not used to or have only done like a couple times in rehearsals. And you can see that they're really skilled, but it kind of feels like in something else, and that they're giving this a try. Like that sounds really like fucking pompous when I say that, but it's like that is the tone that it feels like. Someone giving a really, really, really solid shot.
Ben
Anyway.
Schwartz has like little brother energy. It's like,
think
oh,
that's it.
I really like when I see him, but get the fuck out of my media, dude.
Glad you're having fun. You seem like a great dude. Now please.
Please get the fuck out of here.
Not all of my media though. He was really, really good on Make Some Noise. Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's the kind of voice that you're gonna love the first thing you hear from him, and then the next thing you hear from him is like, oh, okay.
That's Ben Schwartz.
That's Ben
Yeah.
Schwartz.
Good to see you, Ben Schwartz. Have fun. Yeah. I don't like talking shit. I think he's fine. I think he's great.
I don't think I'm
But-
talking shit. I'm talking real. It's just like he's
that's
really
worse.
good, and that's why I really love like his Leonardo performance, mainly because it's one of the first times I've heard him. But I think it's also one of his better performances in general. I think like he actually
feels like it
embodies
works
a
better.
different character,
You also
despite it being his
talked-
voice.
You just talked about him having little brother energy, and now he's playing a teenager, is what you're praising.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
is I think he's the middle in that kind
Is he?
of group. I don't remember the ages of them all in that show, because some of them they're like all kind of like quadruplets or whatever, but
Like, okay.
I don't remember
Sorry,
which one. I think
I have a
he's
question
definitely
about
like a middle child.
And so he's emo and moody.
But what is your question?
My question is really just about quadruplet turtles. How does the shell go through? Like,
What?
that raises so many questions. Quadruplets of any variety.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the same questions as an Octomom situation, but with like it feels like a frozen pasta kind of thing. Trying to push that out, but kids.
They're eggs.
Are they egg animals?
turtles are egg animals. Yes.
Is this another basic thing I don't know?
Yeah.
Because I felt like they were one of those like slimy guys, like a fucking giraffe. Not
I'm
the
like,
same species, of course.
see, now I'm like, turtle is eggs? Question mark.
Just like you
Yeah.
want to make sure that you know.
No,
Yeah.
I'm actually correct. I typed that in all
Turtle
caps
is eggs?
too.
Question mark.
Oh fucking! Oh god, why that? Bruno Mars does is gay. So, does
it
Bruno
mean
Mars
when a
is
turtle
gay?
lays an egg? When I see a result that says what does it mean when a turtle lays an egg? That feels like it's not traditionally supposed to happen. That feels like that's something that happens by surprise. And now I'm scared for the turtle. Okay, understand the
I
next
wonder
part
if
is
they're one of
understanding the basics
those
of turtle reproduction.
like
Yeah.
they lay eggs despite it being, like an actual able to produce a baby egg, like chickens.
So that would okay. Then I would start to wonder, which now I would love if we get like a professional on this at some point. But like, if able to lay babies lays a bunch of eggs as well, do they just every now and then come out with full baby?
Well, no, I mean like if the egg is able to make a baby.
Oh,
Like
I
they'll
see
lay
what
the egg and the egg can or cannot make a baby.
I see what you mean. Okay, I misinterpreted your
There are no
question.
chickens plopping out chicken babies full off the cooker.
Well, I know that like a chicken's never doing that, but I thought what maybe you were saying is that when a fucking turtle gives birth, it's like you have a 1 in let's say 500 chance of maybe more than that of just a straight up little tiny turtle popping out slimy.
How many eggs turtles do? Oh, some of them can do 100 at a time. That's crazy.
Finding Nemo, but with turtles. There were turtles.
There were turtles in there actually.
Right,
If
but like
I can get you that movie. It's called Finding Nemo.
like there's an alternate universe where where Finding Nemo had somehow the sea turtles and the clownfish switch places. But I just want to see the fucking rowdy surfer dudes instead are clownfish. Yeah, that really, really, really wouldn't work. They don't have shells, but I want to see them try it.
But yeah, movies. They're
Yeah.
fun. I want to
Movies are
watch the
fun.
Detective Pikachu movie again.
I
I
thought
think that
you were gonna
might
look at
still
my
be the
face.
best video game movie.
I would agree with that. Okay, another hot take. Another person who I think is really good at their job, but I don't tend to personally like their variety of performing. Justice Smith.
Hmm?
Another person who I think is really, really good, but I don't personally enjoy the way that they perform is Justice Smith.
I don't. You gotta tell me these.
He
Who
plays
is that
the
in this
main.
movie?
Like
main
he plays
dude,
the dude
okay.
who has to take Pikachu around. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was not the strong part of that movie for sure.
I
He's kind of
feel like-
everything else.
I feel like he's fully capable of having the energy of a main character, but like I think he's always facing the leftovers of when he plays like side characters that are supposed to be like the audience surrogate, like getting freaked out by like crazy stuff or having awkward reactions to things and like just being a normal like young dude, but like I don't think he transferred that into main character energy that well. Yeah. Because I think he was fine in the Jurassic World parts that I saw, and I don't think I've seen much more of him. But I think he was never the problem with the clips I saw.
Did you watch
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons movie?
Right, he was in that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he was a pretty good part of that. But like the Dungeons and Dragons movie is actually just really good.
Yeah, I think I like that one better than Detective. Do I? Do I? I don't know. I gotta see Detective Pikachu again. Because I think they teeter totter for me because they're about the same style of movie, but oh, okay. So what may weigh in Detective Pikachu's favor is I think it's to its credit, it's funny less of the time and makes more room for more dramatic moments as far as I can personally remember. Because I think that like Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves like goes for more it goes for the same kind of tone as a lot of movies trying to do like the MCU's like big cinematic, blockbuster movie with lots of CGI and fantastical stuff in it that has a lot of jokes. And like a
Yeah.
lot of movies that copy that kind of style have way more jokes in it than most MCU movies. Like they kind of like piggyback on that idea, and sometimes it works really well. In the case of Dungeons and Dragons, it worked particularly well. But I think that they kind of doubled it, and I don't think it was strictly necessary. But I don't think it like killed it.
Yeah, I think Dungeons and Dragons was like perfect source material for a very silly, kind of high jokey cinematic experience.
I don't think it would have specifically felt like Dungeons and Dragons if not for that. I think it would have just felt like a fantasy movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantasy movie, but they can call mimics mimics.
Yeah. Like with the Minecraft movie, like, because I think that the Dungeons and Dragons movie kind of needs that kind of tone. For Minecraft, it could have had, some solemnity to it and still had its distinction.
Yeah, because I think like there's a decent premise from what I've heard of the story for a Minecraft movie, but they were too much camp around it.
Right.
It's just like, who's even paying attention to the like interesting premise?
It's also it had not one but two opening monologues of just pure exposition, and I'm like, I was trying to think as I was watching it, especially because they took a little while with it, and the first one is entirely Jack Black and Jack Black voice, and like that's how the movie opens out, and I'm like, either you could have had this introduction to Steve's character, but just taking out the monologue and just having it be a speaks for itself visually kind of thing. Like with like maybe some little pieces of narration I think could have worked, but not necessarily narrating every single plot beat of the intro. I think they either could have gone with that or they could have taken out that entire scene and just had the world introduced when they go to it, because that's how they also introduce the world. It's not like they teased, oh, he found something in the beginning. No, they show him going through the whole thing of like, finding why he found the world, then he found it, then he is getting used to it, and now he has a threat. And it's like that would have worked better if that was like the pilot to this being a series, but it's not. And so it's like the thing you're gonna hopefully find out more about with your main characters in like 30 minutes, is something you're just finding out a little too much about right now. I think it could have benefited the movie to just make that one little change, and then to just change how the main characters are introduced to it, because it kind of feels like the group is subdued, like the group's opportunity to see the world for the first time is a bit subdued by the fact that we were introduced to it pretty fully with a crash course in the beginning. Like the edge was almost entirely taken off, despite it still being a very, very beautiful world. There are like, it's not like they introduce everything again. Like there's surprises still, but like the whole "wah" is completely taken out from like past the beginning.
Speaking of Minecraft in general,
Sure.
have you been keeping up with like the new like spring update stuff?
I never do that kind of shit. And my partner does, but I have fun with my family's server. That's it.
So, I mean, you've seen a bit of the shaders that are coming, the vibrant visuals that are
Right.
coming,
Yeah. Can't
which is
wait.
just like a shader, but has more to like Minecraft feeling to it. It doesn't just feel like a shader pack.
Hmm.
Um, I really like it. I've been trying to replicate it in Java because it is not going to Java just yet. We're not sure when it's coming. Some people
I'm
theorize
surprised if
sooner
somebody
rather
hasn't
than
just.
later, but
I'm surprised if someone hasn't just made a shader pack that kind of emulates it yet. I'm sure
I
they're
am
working on it.
also surprised by that. But I
Yeah.
mean, up to this point, almost every shader has been like marketing itself based on like how crisp you can get the shadows and reflections and stuff, and not like this very down to the bones Minecraft feeling. So I
Right.
can kind of see why they don't do it because it's just like not been the MO forever.
Well, I mean, when I was looking through the list experimenting recently, because my sister also wanted to like try, uh, like to get started with some shader packs because she likes when things look a little more realistic. Excuse me. I was looking through a bunch of them just to like test out shit. There we go. With the Modrinth launcher, thank you for long ago introducing me to that. I then retried it for this, to just have ease of installation. And I've of course I like found a bunch of like super realistic, vibrant stuff that makes it look cinematic that I'm probably going to use on and off over time. I think that it does a lot of good stuff for the game, not as like a permanent mainstay, but it's nice. But in the process of scrolling, I did find a bunch of ones that were just like, "Hey, this is normal Minecraft, but," which is it like it felt like in the same realm of at least concept as the vibrant visual setting. So I am curious to see for some of those if they'd compare closely or not. Yeah.
Yeah. I just sent you, and I guess I can put it into the Discord as well. This
Yeah,
is
I'm usually looking at the Thought Bubble channel in the Discord when
the
it comes
this
to
is
these.
the pack, the little mod pack I've been using. It has
Mm.
some extra stuff that is coming in the spring update, like the Happy Gast. But
Oh,
it's
I thought that was already.
mostly a vanilla plus experience. Um, but like I have a specific shader with specific settings to more closely get to what the vibrant visuals is going to look like. It's not one to one. I boosted the saturation. I like the saturation up a bit more than normal Minecraft does. And I think it looks gorgeous, is what I've sent you pictures of before, and I'm going to see if I can find them again,
Oh,
but I
that's
don't
what
know where
that
the
was.
screenshot folder is
Those
on
are
my
beautiful.
computer.
Yeah. I
I'm just going to choose this one to copy image then.
like so like did my assumption I because I forgot it. Oh, I like that little purpley bit and the RNGs. Yeah. But the happy ghast, does that do you have to bring a ghast through a portal for that, or
No,
is that just something
so
you find?
there is a new block called the dried ghast, and it's like a little baby ghast. Um,
Right.
and then you have to soak it in water for a long time, and it'll eventually form into a ghastling. And then I think if you feed it something, I don't remember what it is you feed it, um, it'll grow into the happy ghast, and then you can put a saddle on the happy ghast, and four people can ride it at the same time. And if
Four.
you jump off of it, it stays stationary and becomes a floating platform.
Like what do you mean by floating platform to be specific?
Like exactly what those words mean. It is
Okay, well,
floating and it becomes a platform.
because you could mean like, of course, standing on it and getting to use it as like a platform, but also like, can you like place things on it?
I don't think you can place things because it is still an entity, but you can place things around it.
Okay. God, someone's gonna like sadistically just put a fucking like housing around it with like a fucking inch of mobility.
And a thing you can do soon in this new update is put leads on multiple, like a chain of leads on multiple animals. So like you could have your lead connected to a pig and then another lead connected to the pig to another thing and have like a whole train of
Oh, that's
animals.
awesome.
And I think you can do that with any two entities. So people are getting leads connected to boats connected to the Happy Gast as like a little platform
Connected
underneath
to
it.
boats.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. Especially like, yeah, because for people who's like farms break and shit, this is next level. I really appreciate this. But yeah, so like this pack that you just shared, that's just like that with the purple bits in the water and like the bright orange desert landscape is from that.
Yes, that's one of the worlds that I've made in it.
It's just so gorgeous. It's painterly.
And let me try to find copy image. I'm gonna put another.
And I like the
picture.
squircle clouds.
Here's one of a like desert hitting onto a jungle biome. So one of the things with Vibrant Visuals that makes it stand out against other shader packs is it is pixel to pixel for the shadows, which I have.
Oh.
You are able to recreate in other shaders, which is if you download my Modrenth pack there, it should come with that setting pre-enabled. And I think
a client-side mod pack, or does it need to be installed in the server?
A couple of things need to be installed on the server. There's just like some quality of life stuff. But I think you could just connect with whatever. And I mean, if you go into it and just disable the ones that like add new blocks or whatever, it's completely client side other than that. Actually, let me load up Modrenth and see what all mods do I have on this one. Because it's not a lot.
Modrenth is a fucking godsend. This is one of my like, you know, I just as a small side tangent, I love the fact that people these days, you know, kids playing Minecraft and everybody like get the ease of something like Modrenth, so that they don't have to fucking play with folders like I did, at least when we were kids. I don't know if you found a better thing. Yeah, because like playing with folders was fine. I know it wasn't like a huge hassle, but like now you just get to toggle and find and put in tabs and ooh UI. Yeah.
So I think even if you don't enable or disable any of the mods, it should let you onto a vanilla server. I'd have to test it. But if you want to just turn off all of the things that aren't just client side, turn off Happy Guests, the Friends and Foes mods. I have 2 Friends and Foes mods, and all of the Dungeons and Taverns mods. And what those do, Friends and Foes, is all of the things that did not win the mob vote are then added in. And there's 2 of them because there's an add-on to the basic Friends and Foes, which adds more variety of moo blooms for each flower. And the Dungeons and Taverns is just like better structures, new, updated, more meaningful structures. Other than that, everything should be client side.
Perfect. Yeah, you were talking about the shader pack though as well.
So there are some. I don't remember what all the Vibrant Visuals does, but how I have the shader pack set up, I think it's based off of complementary shaders, and it can have different light like colors for different sources. So if you have like a redstone torch, it emits red light, and a soul torch is a blue light, and like it mixes pretty well when 2 lights interact. But a cool thing is light coming through colored glass. So I just at one point built a wall of glowstone, put all of the different like rainbow colored of glass, and it will just shine straight through, and your entire room is now lit with the rainbow.
Oh hell yeah, gay shit in Minecraft.
So that's another thing I really like, and obviously I like how the clouds look. I have set it to where by default with this shader pack, there are waves in the water, so the water will kind of bob up and down. I have turned that off. If that is something you might like, go ahead. I think it's a little weird. Yeah, I mean, it's all pretty basic. There are other things in the mod. Rain is like a bit better. I don't know how to exactly explain the difference between default rain and the rain mod I have, but it makes it look a little bit nicer. It's not just 2D images falling to the ground in a predictable pattern anymore. I think it also causes like sand flurries in the desert. And like the snow is a lot better. So I don't know, it's just it makes Minecraft a little more beautiful. And then if you run it with the other mods I have, you just have a bit of an upgraded experience.
I know that we have a history of talking shit on like when people try and make Minecraft too realistic. I think you have more of a problem with it than I do, but I think we both take issue with it. One area where I think does not need to be negotiated, in my opinion, is so that like the textures of like solid physical stuff like blocks and shit, I don't think should look hyper realistic. But for some reason, I feel very different about water in Minecraft. If that is as realistic looking as possible, to where like it basically feels like if you waterproofed a Lego set and put some water where the water is supposed to be, like some actual water. I'm like, for some reason this does not trigger the same thing in me of like, I guess, Uncanny Valley that counts as when you have the solid stuff and the animals and everything as realistic as you can. In one of the shader packs I was testing out, in fact, one of the things I thought was cute, but I didn't like that it took a big performance hit, or at least felt like it did. One little tiny thing is I started not being able to tell for some of them whether I couldn't run them very well or if it had built-in motion blur. Because some of them had built-in motion blur that for a while just looked like my game wasn't running very well. But
yeah, I mean, it could be both.
Yeah. It might have been, but I think like for at least one of them, if I disabled the motion blur, I'm like, oh no, this is like, it's not Crystal 60, but it's like pretty close. It was like not super discernibly different. Anyway, but one thing that I like that I think would aggravate a fuckload of people to implement into their experience, but I just think it is fun for me in a way that's not too obtrusive, is when you're in a thunderstorm, when you're in any kind of rain in Minecraft, getting to see little droplets on your view as if it's like a lens of a camera almost. I do like that. I like giving that a try.
I don't remember what mod it is in this mod pack. There is, when it rains, like small puddles will form, but like it'll just be an entire, like one block will just have water on it. It looks a little strange.
Oh, is that it? Because
like two, a couple around it, but it's like it would end at the edges of the block. It's not like a flowy puddle, and it looks very silly, but also looks very Minecraft.
That's a thing where I'm like, you could take out that whole feature if I like the concept, but I don't like it adhering to blocks. I think a puddle in Minecraft would work really well if it was one of those things that's like got a blob inspired shape, but you can see that it's pixely. I don't remember anything specifically being like that at the top of my head. Maybe a map, like elements of a map, in Minecraft where it like has the blobbiness to it, but you can see the pixely edges. I think that could work really well for puddles. That's kind of the only way I think I'd enjoy them. I saw for a couple of them there was a setting to activate puddles in rainstorms, and I wanted to try it, but it says this can severely impact the performance of your game, and I'm like, oh, am I going to risk that? I don't know. And the way you're describing it, I am not. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm gonna look up what all the spring drop is adding. So there's gonna be leaf litter, so there's gonna be like little it's not like a block of leaves, but like a carpet
That'd be great.
layer of leaves that you can find
I
below
have
trees and stuff.
I've actually found that while adventuring with my sister out yonder, in the server. I thought that for some of these it would require like having a new world made with this stuff, but no,
Oh
it's
yeah,
just like found leaf litter when I had not found leaf litter before. None of it's like near the spawn chunk. This was like way out, but I
well
found
yeah,
it like near
because
some cherry
it
blossoms.
was
Yeah,
updated.
I didn't know that that's just how that worked. I did not know
Yeah,
that.
it like spawns with the world.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was
That
actually
was
the
fun.
spring drop. I meant to do the summer drop, which is dried ghast, the harness. Oh yeah, you're gonna be able to craft saddles now.
Yes! God, Jesus. Oh,
And Leeds crafting recipe is getting changed. You no longer need a slime ball for it. It is now just 4 string in the top left of the crafting table and then 1 in the bottom right.
wait, that
Um,
is for what again?
the lead.
Oh, thank God. Oh, I'm gonna be able to. Oh, now Leeds is like it's not a. It now it's not as. It's not a thing you have to like hunt for. Now it's just a thing you can. Oh. Well, you
Well,
still have to hunt for
apparently
it, but spiders are so much more
now
common.
when you kill a ghast by hitting them with their fireball, they will drop a new music disc. So that'll be cool.
Oh. Okay.
Um, let's see. They're adding just like a ton of new music. So yeah, that's the basis of the drop. It's the happy ghast, a few changes to crafting recipes, and vibrant visuals, which I think is going to be a nice little update.
Mhm. Oh, speaking of music, I just want to give a quick little callback, not for too long, to the Minecraft movie just one last time. The soundtrack is really good. If you want some orchestral accents to C418 music, you are finding it in there. It's not all over the place, but you will notice it, and it is more than once. And yeah, look out for that shit. It's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, continue.
But yeah, I'm very excited for the new Minecraft drop. And like I said, I have the Happy Ghast mod, so I'm going to see how 1-to-1 it is with the snapshots when I start playing again. But
Yeah.
very good shit.
I'm kind of conflicted when it comes to just one tiny element of the vibrant visuals versus the shader packs we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm conflicted as to which version of this particular function I like better. Because I think I used to say I like the pixel edges on the shadows better than the smooth ones. And I am growing less confident of that. I think they're about on the same level. But like I think I will flip rapidly between which one I like better. Because it's like there's like a mixing of mediums that's really delicious and satisfying to me when it's just hardcore realistic shadows as much as possible in Minecraft. They're like just I think they're very cohesive together as if like you had a physical like you had a Minecraft looking Minecraft environment, but like it still it looks like it was placed down, like it looks almost like a diorama that was like placed in the sun because you were like, I don't know, transporting it somewhere to like showcase in a thing, and you just got to see like the sun setting over it or whatever on these blocky bits, real smooth and realistic. That, or like I said, cohesively pixely blending with the style of the world, but with the more realistic dynamics and lighting of the shadow. That's a difficult question, because it's like it's one little thing, but it comes with so many visual implications. Yeah.
I'm just
How do you
putting
feel about it?
down in the Thought Bubble Discord a screenshot of like before and after of the actual vibrant visuals as we know them right now. Which I mean, they're still in development. Some things could change, probably not a lot. One thing with the vibrant visuals that is really cool is if you have them on and you're in the end dimension, um,
Hmm.
periodically, like a burst of light will happen and illuminate the
What?
entire area. It's
Is
like
that
it's
intentional?
I believe so. They don't mention it in any documentation, but it looks very intentional. It looks like they mean to do it. And I think it looks gorgeous for when you're fighting the Ender Dragon, and as if there is lightning strikes happening, but it isn't lightning strikes because you're in the end. It's some weird end dimension thing
I was
just
hoping you'd say
going
it was
off
like
around
lightning
you.
strikes. It feels like adding horror elements into Minecraft is what you're describing, and I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, okay. I don't know if you just have this quick and grabbable, but I would like to see some comparative screenshots where we actually see shadow edges like in the previous one. Um, but that's anyway. But one thing that I thought I would hate that is a common thing in more realistic leaning shader packs, but it turns out, ooh, this is actually like something that is sometimes quite nice, or sometimes I just ignore it and it's just fine. A circular moon and sun, I really fucking didn't think would. I think it's just if I didn't think it would work, but if it's just not directly part of the world and it's just like an external force happening to the ground, then I think that it works a little better sometimes having realistic stuff, including clouds. I think work quite well realistically in Minecraft. If it's just not tangibly, physically with you in the world and also not water, it's a really weird line to walk, realistic Minecraft.
I put in a couple more from the vibrant visuals update. I have more of the shadows.
God, this is just gorgeous.
I think the only thing I dislike about vibrant visuals, but it's a upsetness about the regular Minecraft experience anyway, is it's just not actually that vibrant. Like the saturation could do with going up, in my opinion, for a lot of Minecraft, which is what I did with my pack. And
Right, yeah,
I love all of the
get
pictures
reverse
I've taken a
texture.
lot more than actually the saturation is built into the shader pack that I'm using. So actually, I intentionally oversaturated even more so than everything else the water, because the shaders let you do it kind of individually. So like,
Good.
water is a much deeper blue than other blue things would be in my shader pack.
One thing that I can tell that I like in a third party shader pack more than vibrant visuals, just I like noticed this a second ago. The grass to me feels a little more like plastic in vibrant visuals. Every time I have used a realistic shader or realistic leaning, or in more cohesive to the experience, like a complementary one for Minecraft, the grass still feels like I'm looking at grass by and large, but that feels like I'm looking at a plastic floor, like kind of like plate.
Yeah, it's just like the issues with Minecraft's default aesthetic, especially
Yeah.
Bedrock, because all of these are in Bedrock, and I think Bedrock looks a little bit worse, in my opinion, than Java does typically. It just
These are all in
feels
Bedrock, you
more.
said?
Yeah, so Vibrant Visuals is not even being tested in Java right now.
Oh yeah, because that is going to hurt it if if Bedrock already looks a little bit more simplistic when Minecraft is already a simplistic experience.
I have found an image of one of the I think people are like call them like supernovas or whatever.
I like that so much. That is so cool with the context of the original. That is awesome. Holy shit. Thematically, that is perfect. I forgot it even the end has those structures.
Yeah, so those are chorus fruit plants.
I just don't tend to know those things.
I
never
have
go
a
to the
feeling
end.
you don't go to the end.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing I do. I'll admit that.
But yeah,
Why would I want to end
Minecraft
Minecraft?
fun.
Minecraft good. Minecraft sweet. I like oh god, one of my favorite things about Minecraft as we get older is that if you want, it can just kind of be a Stardew Valley sort of thing. Like it's just a farming simulator where in the same world, you got folks that just going out and exploring, and you get to be the gatherer to their hunter. Like I like that. I think it's cute. I think it's fun. It's just Minecraft. It's always been versatile. We know that. It's a basic fact of it. I like how it's got what could have been full games in anything else just within individual experiences in Minecraft. I always love that. God, vibrant.
The one thing I haven't been able to recreate that I love in Vibrant Visuals is the kind of like pixel layer of the light going through the water onto the blocks below. I have not been
Right,
able
the
to recreate
caustics.
that, but I
Yeah.
fucking love it. It looks so good.
Oh, a tangible, like practical use case for those wondering if they personally want to use shader pack, and are kind of teeter-tottering with the idea. You can see underwater so much easier with a lot of shader packs. Not to like I guess you could say it feels like a cheating degree depending on what you're doing in the water, but yeah, I can understand how a circular moon and sun feels a little wrong, but like I don't think it's for everybody. Just like I don't think the realistic water is for everybody. This is like a very specific. It's very much your taste, or it isn't. Yeah. I frankly, speaking of the water for a little side tangent as well, I I'm conflicted as to whether I like the pixely, like still a pixely attitude to the more realistic functions visually of the water, or if I just want it to be straight smooth waves. Um, but again, that might be an unpopular thing. But yeah, in shader packs, either more complementary or realistic, I just tend to notice that like the water is not perfectly like you don't see it like as clearly as the surface world, obviously, because that just would look completely wrong. But you can see so much more and so much farther because that's just how water works, and I think it complements the experience a lot when I've gone underwater. God, I love those caustics. Thank you, Ashley, for that screenshot. Those are delicious caustics. Go to the Discord server, folks. That is beautiful. Or go into Bedrock if you haven't. Or Xbox, that screenshot looks like, but I'm sure it functions similarly in Bedrock.
Oh yeah, all of the console editions are Bedrock.
That's a PlayStation one. I was not looking to the right. I just looked at
You
the
know,
D-pad
I
on the
wasn't
left.
gonna correct you.
Like, you get it. I forgot that it was on PlayStation until right now. I thought it was just because I didn't think Microsoft would necessarily play all footsie daisy. You know, it's delicious. Do you? Okay, sorry. For physical waves, do you think a pixely aesthetic to it still works, or do you think it needs to lean more into realistic, or do you care?
I don't really like the waves when it's more pixely. I mean, I just don't like the super detailed water anyway, because it always like it feels flat when it doesn't want to be. But if you then
Mhm.
give it like that smooth actual 3D depth, it's just like, oh, that's just weird, and like the water should be flowing in a different way because like when it's blocky Minecraft water, it's like, oh, well, this is going to behave like blocky Minecraft water. But when it looks like real water but behaves like blocky Minecraft water, it just
Oh
is
yeah.
terrible to me.
I wasn't even fucking thinking about like if you see a waterfall or something. I didn't even test that. I When I was testing the shader packs, that because I know in part of, I forget exactly where it is, but in part of our server, um my partner was like, because he builds a lot of stuff in there just to like show people and have fun with it and whatever. Like as we're watching stuff, he'll go in and and like he'll build stuff while we're like watching a movie or a show sometimes. Um, and we love our autistic stuff. But but like he has like a waterfall system taking you down into an underground, like super big, like jokey build that he has. I wonder how that waterfall looks with the realistic water shaders, and I'm kind of scared to check because I have a
Yeah.
feeling it's kind of disappointing. Because it's like I want to have my cake and eat it too, because I don't think it would look better to have like the Minecrafty looking water for the waterfall, but then crystal smooth water for the bodies of water. But I don't want to sacrifice the crystal smooth bodies of water. I think they work for two different cases, and I think to make me happy, you just have to have like smooth smooth waterfalls, but then that would look even less cohesive with the general Minecraft appeal, and it makes it so complicated. And I think I'm just gonna put up with it, like as just a smooth water in that circumstance, and let it look weird, just because I do really, really like smooth. Yeah.
I think I found. There we go. Here's. I presume this is the kind of smooth you're talking about.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it looks
BSL
good
shit.
in like a screenshot, but then playing around, it would feel weird.
It's definitely weird, but it doesn't feel weird for long with me. Like if I just go to like BSL in like a fucking desert area, I'm like, oh, this just like, because if you look at those fucking lighting pieces with a bit of green in them near the sand in that screenshot, that feels like you're going to Greece a little bit. And I like it. Mediterranean.
But yeah, so good Minecraft.
Good Minecraft.
Good Minecraft so much that I'm changing the title.
Just a whole Minecraft chat. Minecraft and Ben Schwartz.
No, don't let him in. Stay out of here.
How long did we go on? How long did we go in that map? I want a timestamp.
Look, you can figure it out. We'll put chapters on this one and this one alone, and it'll be the chapter. It's like before we shit talk Ben, and then after we've shit talked Ben, and then in the middle it's just shit talking Ben.
It just turns out that it's like a 45-minute interval. This is a 15-minute episode outside of shit talking Ben.
Anyway, that I think has been our show.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you want to say to the nice people at home?
You know, I